Hello students, welcome to this online course of Water Resource Engineering. So in the two lectures which was related to gravity dam, in first we have seen what is actually gravity dam and what was the various forces which may occur, which may be encountered while we are constructing a gravity dam. So those were the water pressure, uplift pressure, silt pressure, ice pressure, wind pressure, earthquake pressure, and the weight of the dam. So these were the 7 principal or major forces which can occur, which can be acting on a gravity dam. Then we have seen the combinations, like at the same time simultaneously these all forces are not going to act. So for that we have seen the two different cases. First was the reservoir full case, and second one was the reservoir empty case. So for those two conditions we have seen the various combination, the normal combination and the extreme combination as prescribed by USBR. So this we have seen until now. So let us see what can be the principal and what will be the shear stress which can occur anywhere in the dam. So as you might have studied in your strength of materials, like about the principal stresses, transformation of principal stresses, the full unit is there. That is the very important unit, because that is going to help you throughout your civil engineering. Any of the design problems which may come to you, you can solve using the transformation of stresses. So in that you might have learned about the principal stresses. So what is a principal stress? Principal stress means if it is a either it can be maximum or major principal stress or minor principal stress. So major means in overall at any point of the body, any of the stress generating cannot exceed this value. So this means it is the highest possible stress due to the external loading which is coming to the body or the structure. Minor means anywhere in the structure the least stress cannot be less than minor principal stress. That's why this name is principal is there. Principal means the biggest, the tallest. In college you have seen the principal sir is there, so he is the highest authority. So like that, in stress analysis, the principal stress means it is the extreme. So this is minor and this is major. So all the stresses which are coming should lie between these two values. Okay, and one more thing is there. Principal stress means tau means shear stress is 0. From here only while using this condition only we should derive theta. So you just refer through your SOM classes, you will easily get what I am talking about. So we have to calculate principal stress. Why? Because we want to design it. So for designing we must be knowing what is the maximum stress coming. So maximum stress is nothing but the principal stress, maximum normal stress and maximum shear stress. Okay, so these two things we want to know. So let us see how we are going to see. So the vertical stress intensity, that is Pmax or Pmin. Pmin means the minimum determined earlier is not the maximum direct stresses produced anywhere in the dam. So this formula, let me just write it. So Pmax or Pmin was what? Summation V by B1 plus minus 6E by P. Okay, so this was the formula, but what this is saying, this is not the absolute maximum and this is not the absolute minimum. Okay, as I have told you why these are not maximum and minimum, because maximum and minimum depend upon the magnitude as well as the direction. Okay, so the maximum normal stress will in fact be the major principal stress that will generate on the major principal plane. So the plane is also very important, so we have to find first the plane. How we are going to find that plane? By checking on which plane the shear stress is 0. So we can just calculate a random shear stress at an angle theta, and by putting this tau is equal to 0, we will get a theta value. Now we will put this theta value in the equation of our normal stress. So this will be our either major principal stress or minor principal stress. This is the normal values. Okay, so when the reservoir is full, the vertical direct stress and which is represented by PV is the maximum at the toe, as the resultant is nearer to the toe. So these things we have seen. Let us see. So what we are doing now, we are taking a small element, okay, somewhere here. Sorry. So we are taking a small element here at the toe. Why we are taking at the toe? Because we know the maximum Pmax was occurring near the toe in the case of reservoir full condition. So it will be somewhere near to Pmax, the major principal stress. So now we have taken this small element B in a larger way, okay, just to see the how stresses are working. So as you can see, we have taken a small element. It is having 3 sides. So sides are having distances ds, dr, ds and db. Let me show you. So this is dr, this is ds, this is db. So these are the 3 sides of the triangle. Now we have assumed sigma stress is there, P dash due to tailwater and PV due to uplift. Tau is the shear stress. So these are the stresses. And one more thing, we have taken this angle, the angle at the toe from vertical as alpha. So we have used this alpha here. Accordingly, by geometry we can see that this is also alpha. So now we are having a triangle which is having different angles, different stresses. So we cannot add or subtract stress like that. We have to convert it into a force. So how we are going to do? Stress multiplied by the area. So area here we are taking per unit length. So sigma into dr into 1 is there. So 1 is the unit width. Same P dash into ds into 1. Same PV into dB into 1. So this is per unit width. This force is per unit width. So we have seen the forces. Now it is very simple. Let us see what I have just dictated you. The element is so small, we have taken very infinitesimally small. So ds, db, dr are very small. So the stress intensity will be uniform. Okay. Let the downstream face of the dam be inclined at an angle alpha to the vertical. This face of the dam will act as principal plane. Because we are directly seeing it, but how we are seeing it? Because the water pressure P dash act at right angle to the face, and also there is no shear stress acting on this plane. One more thing I want to say, that if this is sigma normal max, means this is a major principal axis, so minor will be somewhere at 90 degree. It can be at in any plane. So the angle between minor and major will be always 90. Okay. So, and second condition was tau should be 0. So we have used these two conditions to figure out that the upstream face is nothing but the principal plane. So since the principal plane are at right angle to each other, the plane BC drawn at right angle to the face AB, which will be the second principal plane, and let stress acting on this plane is sigma. So you can see this denominations AB, BC, CA. So let ds, dr and db be the lengths of AB, BC and CA. P dash is water pressure intensity on face AB. Here you can see AB. P dash is the water pressure intensity. PV is vertical pressure intensity on face AC. So this is, the base is AC and sigma is normal stress intensity on face BC. Now we have to resolve all the forces in the vertical direction. You will simply get these values. This is simple mathematics, nothing. So this equation you can easily get. Now just replace this sine alpha and cos alpha like this. Okay, so you will get ds is dB sine alpha and dr is dB cos alpha. dB is the hypotenuse, ds is the perpendicular of the right angle triangle, and dr is the base. Now just put these values, you will get this very simple formula. And for sigma to be maximum, this sigma to be maximum, we are subtracting something from PV sec square theta. This minus sign is there. So at mass, to get this sigma maximum, what we can do, we can just put P dash as 0. P dash 0 means there is no tailwater. So the maximum condition for no tailwater is sigma is equal to PV sec square alpha. So this is very important formula. In GATE or ESC, you will directly, many times they have asked directly this like maximum value for 1 mark, so you can easily get it. Since sec square theta alpha is always more than 1, it follows that sigma will be more than PV. So this just must be calculated and should not be allowed to exceed. So why we have calculated all this, why we have done this? So that we can get the maximum value, and the stress generating anywhere in the dam should not exceed this value. So for knowing this thing only, we have calculated all these stresses. Now let us see, this was principal normal stress. Now we are going to see the shear stress. So shear stress on the horizontal plane near the toe, the shear will be sliding will occur on the horizontal plane. Now the same thing we have to do for the this horizontal plane. We have to resolve all the forces into component along the horizontal. So simply you will directly get this equation. So put cos alpha sin alpha, but here no need to do that, because finally you are getting PV minus P dash tan alpha. If no tail, what is there? PV tan alpha. If earthquake is there, what you are going to do? So if earthquake is upward and downward, if earthquake is downward, so it will increase the weight of the dam. If it is upward, it will reduce the weight of the dam. So accordingly, here we can see PE plus or minus PE. Same we can do here in the normal stress also. There it was PV sec square alpha. If earthquake is there, then we can either add it or subtract it depending upon the direction. So this is all for today. So in the next lecture, we are going to see 1 or 2 numerical problems for gravity dam. So these are very important, at least 20 marks, not 20, 15 to 20 marks you will be seeing in the final examination of RTU. So please study this topic very carefully, gravity dam theory as well as the numerical, which we are going to solve in the next class. So this is all for today. Thank you.